What's going on? Today I'm going to be reviewing a Boss aftermarket stereo that I got online off of Crushfield, and this model number is BN965BLC. And before I got this one, actually, I had looked online and several other places to see if I could see a review of it, so I can find one. So I figured, why not? I'll make the review myself. So for this one, even before I turn it on, you can see there's callouts here for the mode. There's specific buttons for the mode, so you can cycle through your phone, your navigation, your camera, and stuff. Right here is for your navigation, is to directly go into that. And here is the volume knob, and then here is for your auxiliary ports and your line in, your USB, your micro USB, and also there's a micro USB rather, for your GPS. And that is all housed in here. And let's see if I can get it open. Oh, yeah, there you go. All right. And so there you can see the GPS, micro SD. So you can actually go online to NDrive and then get an update if there is one for this, and then put it onto a micro USB and then put it back in here. And so that's how you update the GPS if there are new roads that haven't been updated. And so, and then as you can see here, also there's an eject button. And that's about it. And also, actually, let me just make sure. There's also a mic here, so it's an inbuilt mic into this actual device itself. You don't need to get an external mic or anything like that. And this unit also came with its own backup camera, so I didn't have to buy that. That was part of the package. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it on, and this is in a Ford Explorer, a 2006 Ford Explorer that I had this installed in. All right, and let's turn it on here. All right, so it gives you that initial kind of splash screen. And so when it first boots up, it usually boots up into what's playing last. And for me, I had the radio on. So if you had a D or something, it would pull that up. So pull up whatever was playing last. And so for the radio, I can go through the different things. Radio has call outs for whatever station that you're listening to up here. That's really beneficial. You can manually scan through different stations, and then you can automatically scan as well. And then once you have a station that you want to set, you can just hold this down. Either one of these options here, you can just hold it down, and then it will save it to that specific number. So they're different also in this. For the radio part, there are different bands that you can cycle through, so you're not just limited to these 6 at the bottom here. You can go through several. So if I hit band, it goes to FM2, so I could set it for all these different presets, and it goes to AM, and then AM2, and back to FM1. And so I find that to be, I mean, it's pretty good for what I need it to be. And so that's pretty much all it is for the stereo. And just, you can see the time here. I have a disc in currently, so it has this disc button here, and then my phone is connected to it, which is what I'm using to shoot this, and it's connected to it. And then also there's an EQ symbol right there. And this EQ button, you can actually just click on it from here. Oh, sorry. And it will take you into the EQ. And you can cycle through the different ones that you want to set. You can also manually put in which one that you want to have here. And you can just go back by hitting this back button here, and you're going back to the radio. So that's pretty much it for the radio. And also, I know initially I said it loads up into the previous or the last thing that you're using, but there's actually a home screen for the system, for the stereo, and it's accessed by hitting that home button that was here. So let me show you that again. So it's up here, this home button. You just click that, and this is the main screen. But you never really access this unless you want to switch to perhaps streaming or to navigation, and you didn't want to cycle through this mode button, because this mode button, when I click it, it cycles through, as you can see, phone, disk, streaming, aux, your camera, your navigation, and your radio. So if you didn't want to have to cycle through all these different things, you could essentially just hit this home button and then either go to your streaming or to your radio or to navigation. And I find that to be faster rather than cycling through, because on the screen it has a visual representation of what you want to get to. And also, I must say that the responsiveness of the screen is pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it's a resistive touchscreen, but it functions almost like a capacitive screen would. So I have no complaints about that. So you can actually swipe here to go to the next screen, and that has all your different options. And also here, this is where you can access your settings. So there are different settings that you can have. You can set the time to use the GPS time. I don't have that enabled. But you can scroll through here and see all the different options. The wallpaper, you can change that here. Whichever one that you want to do. The different wallpaper options. Unfortunately, there's not one. It doesn't allow you to install your own wallpaper. But I actually like the ones that it came with, especially this kind of gray one. That's the one that I stick with. And so you can also set your radio region, like I said, your backlight, have it set to normal. And here are all your different general options. So your time, you can set that. And then you can also set options for, and actually I might just dim the screen to make it a little bit clearer to see here. All right, that's better. All right, so now you have your disk options. I'm not really sure what PVC means. And you can even set a parental lock. I'm the one using this, so I don't need that. Your audio settings here. So this is actually also another shortcut to your EQ, but like I said, you can access that at the top here. And so that takes you there, and that takes you back. So you can set, if you have a subwoofer, you can customize it here. There are other options here as well. All your balance, you can set where you want the sound to be heard from. All right, I'm going to go back. And so these are your navigation options. And in here it's just brief navigation options. And what it's showing here is your navigation voice mix. Is to be able to hear your navigation if you're listening to like your radio or something like that. And also this is just pretty much, I think, for the micro SD to know where to pull that navigation information from. So last on the settings is the other, and you can set this up to this SWC. Essentially, if you have a truck or a car that has the buttons to control the volume on the steering wheel, you can set it up with this stereo. So that allows you that capability as well. Also, I'll notify you that in these settings, you won't be able to change the colors of these right here. These are blue, so you have to keep that in mind if you're going to purchase this unit. All right, and I'm going to go back to the home screen. I don't have a micro SD card in here with any pictures or anything like that, so I can't show you that on the disc. And this one actually has a disc in there currently that's a DVD, so there's a movie on here, so it has the ability to play DVDs. You can play CDs, you can play MP3 CDs if you wanted to. So this is Lady in the Water that we were watching. So yeah, and there's several options too in the disc format, in the disc setting of this. So I'm just gonna go back home. All right, so the phone too, it's very intuitive as far as the user interface. You can make calls just by pressing this number here, or you can access your phone book, which connects to your phone, and then that way you can link up all your numbers, so you're not having to pick up your phone really for anything. You can even go to recents and see all the recently called, recently received, missed calls. And this is where you pay your device, and this is set up for your phone as well. And it really should work with Android and iPhone phones here. And so for the navigation, I will show you that here. It just takes a little bit to load, but it does load. And there you go. So, all right, let's see here. I'm just take it back. I just wanted you to see how fast the navigation took to load, but it's pretty good. And then with the way that it's currently set up, my GPS is very accurate. It gets the right location each time. I use it a lot going to work, going to different places. It's very reliable. There are different options. It can even, let's say you're about to make a turn on a 3-lane road. It will kind of give you a visual image of which lane you have to be in for the turn. So it's really good in that aspect. And for music also, since you can see here, it's connected with the blue. If I played anything on my phone, it would just automatically start playing on here. And that was one big thing. I essentially, buying this unit, I wanted something that I could play, excuse me, that I could stream music instantly without needing an auxiliary cable. And the good thing about this is that you can actually, with this here, have an actual auxiliary cable if you wanted to. So there is that option for you if you wanted it. So if you wanted to plug in an auxiliary cable in here, you can do that. But I like the ability to just be able to stream via Bluetooth to listen to music or whatever that I'm doing. And then also the navigation option is really good. And then this also has a backup camera, and I'll try and show you that here. And like I said, it comes with it. So I put this in reverse here, and it switches over directly to the backup camera, and it's also really clear, as you can see. So once I put it back in park, it switches back to the radio. And then if I was to do that again, put it into reverse, switches back to reverse camera, I'm in park, and then it's back to the main screen. So all in all, I really like the system. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for an option that kind of gives you navigation, kind of puts you up to speed into the current technologies in cars. This hasn't have Android CarPlay, Android Auto or Apple CarPlay or anything like that. But really, I don't feel like you need it because it has everything that you would need. If you get a call, it's coming up on here. If you are wanting to stream something, it just plays on here. If you're wanting to go somewhere, you can just navigate to the place with this system with what's inbuilt here. So you don't really need anything else. So all in all, I really like it. And like I said, this is the BN965BLC. And so if you guys want to go on Crutchfield and purchase that, I would definitely recommend it. This here also is a 6.5 inch screen. I know the other ones I believe are mostly 6.2, so I do like the screen size on this as well. So yeah, guys, that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I will talk to y'all later. All right, bye bye.